As the 2026 SARS filing season gets underway, you get many taxpayers that are focusing on gathering their documents, as you should. But experts say there's one thing that's often overlooked, which is who actually controls your SARS e-filing profile. And you know the horror stories there. You lose access to your profile. It can delay refunds. It can lead to missed deadlines. And it can even create legal and financial headaches. To help us understand why this matters, we're joined by Razael Manikus, who's the Chief Operating Officer at Latita Africa. It's not the first time we speak to them. Razael, good morning. Welcome to Breakfast with You. I mean, many people would assume that, you know, an accountant, you know, handles their taxes. Everything is taken care of. But why is it so important for taxpayers to know who controls that e-filing profile, the SARS e-filing profile?
Good morning, Patsy and your viewers. Thank you so much for having me. So it's important for taxpayers to know who controls the e-filing system, because that is usually where SARS communicates on. You could get notices that could be missed, verifications, for example. Maybe the tax practitioner could miss it, but the taxpayer will see it. Refunds could be delayed. So there's quite a lot of reasons why the taxpayer should definitely know who's controlling it or has control over their profile.
And it's not going to wash when I'm confronted with penalties that I say to the receiver of revenue that, no, I'd actually given my profile to, you know, my consultant to look after. That's not going to wash as an excuse, would it?
No, not at all, because the onus is on the taxpayer to make sure that they are compliant. So that is not going to wash with SARS at all.
Now, for businesses and those that have trust, who should ideally be the registered representative, and why is that role that important?
So it should usually be somebody that is inside the business, like a director, a managing director, the main trustee, a CFO, a company secretary. So generally somebody who has controlling decisions within the company or in the trust.
Now, it happens. We appoint different companies from time to time. And, you know, here I am, I'm discovering that a former accountant still controls my SARS profile. I mean, please help with practical steps that, you know, I can take to regain access to my profile.
Okay, I think usually people, the first thing they do is panic, because that's what we usually get. You know, people are like, oh my gosh, I can't see my e-filing profile. But it's quite simple. You make an appointment with SARS. And there's a specific amount of supporting documents that you need, simple ones like your identification document, the company documents, proof of residence. And you go to SARS or you make that appointment and you do it online, you upload those supporting documents, and easily SARS will change the registered representative from the tax practitioner over to you, and you can access that profile.
I think if you get a chance to speak to them anytime soon, speak to them about their reference numbers. Very long, can be very confusing. But last one from us. Most of us, we want to be compliant. You know, you want to be able to smile when you pass by SARS offices or when you see their vehicle driving past. What are your top 3 pieces of advice for taxpayers to protect themselves and to stay compliant with the receiver of revenue?
For me, it's about, especially now with tax filing season, if you're getting auto-assessed, make sure that auto-assessment is absolutely correct. Log into your e-filing quite regularly. Make sure that you have access. Make sure that your banking details are updated. Make sure that you have your documents stored. So just keep an eye on your e-filing, log in once a month and just see what is going on.
Thank you so much. Somebody's listening and wondering about your company, Latita Africa. Where do we find you?
You find us in Rosebank. You can email us on info@latitaafrica.com. And our website is also latitaafrica.com. Our phone number is 0861 528 482.
You may need to employ an extra person there because there might be a volume of calls. But thank you so much for this clarity. You can't encourage anyone enough to be compliant with SARS. There are benefits, and it can become a nightmare if one doesn't respond. Thank you so much.
Can I just quickly throw in a question there? Because we're independent contractors, so we're expected to pay our own taxes, which can be a bit tedious in that space, especially if you don't have the necessary information. But something I've always just been wondering, is it possible to then, let's say I know this is how much I'm supposed to be paying for tax, Is it possible to just pay a little bit extra just to secure myself?
Absolutely. You can pay a little bit extra. It will just sit as a credit or an unallocated payment. And then when the next tax season comes, you will ask SARS to allocate the payment to where you are owing.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You can tell who earns more on the show. But thank you so much. Have a good morning. We'll chat to you soon.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. We'll leave it here for this morning. Chief Operating Officer at Latita Africa, Razael Manikus. Call SARS. They're usually good people. And I'm yet to hear horror stories of somebody who called and somebody at the end of the line at SARS was rude. Never.
Yeah.
It might be a long call. It might get dropped here and there. They call you back even. Just get this out of the way, man. It's a tedious thing, this, yeah.
In tune with you.